Welcome back for another video. In this video we look at the top players with predicted points in Gameweek 24 and over the next 5 game weeks to make your transfer plans and captaincy easier. If you want to up your FPL game this season, I strongly recommend the Fantasy Football Scout members area. I've been a member for almost 6 years. The tools I use every game week are the fixture ticker, the data tables and the player comparison. That said, there's tons of tools, so give it a try using the link below and see what you find useful. It also supports the channel. Thanks to Scout for supporting the channel, and click the link below to try it now. We've got 5 challenging game weeks ahead, a single game week next, then a double and blank game week, then a single game week, then a double game week, and then a blank game week. We'll talk more about the fixture run in this week's video, so make sure you subscribe in. So let's start with the goalkeeper projections, and Kepa's top projected 4.5 points this game week. Chelsea are away to Southampton this game week, who are in a bad patch of form and have just sacked Nathan Jones. Chelsea perhaps a side on the rise too though defensively, 1 goal conceded in their last 4. It's the other end of the pitch where they've struggled. If you need a goalkeeper for Game Week 25 and Game Week 28, which are both blank game weeks, then the 2 standouts are Kepa and Ramsdale, both guaranteed to play in those weeks. Pickford's also worth a mention. He misses out on the projections just barely with 3.7 points projected for the home game against Leeds this week. Everton double in Game Week 25 and then they play in Game Week 28 as well, which as a reminder is expected to be the biggest blank game week of the season, albeit against Chelsea in Game Week 28. Lloris picked up a knee injury last week which will rule him out for around 6 weeks. As a consequence, 3.9 mil Forster has come in as first choice, though in his first game he watched the ball find the back of his net 4 times in the 4-1 loss against Leicester. It's not worth going there in my view. Moving on to the defenders, and Reece James is top. After only making it to 59 minutes back in Game Week 22, he did play the full 90 in Game Week 23. I'd like to see him string a lot of games together before going there again, considering his injury record, injured twice this season alone and injured a couple of times last season. No double digit hauls this season, but we're well aware of his explosiveness and he could be a useful asset down the line. Another Spurs injury we learned of last week was Sessegnon. He might also be out for around 6 weeks. So Perisic now looks nailed and he's second on the projections among defenders this week, Spurs home to West Ham. Although a couple of Brentford defenders make the top Game Week 24 projections, for a strong home fixture against Palace, it's not the week to buy them, unless you can make it through Game Week 25 effectively. If we step back and look at the fixture ticker of all the confirmed upcoming blank and double game weeks, there's a lot going on here. Arsenal, Everton, Liverpool and Wolves doubling Game Week 25, while Brentford, Brighton, Man United and Newcastle blanking Game Week 25. This is the game week to look at your team, work out how many players you can field in Game Week 25 and focus your transfers there if needed. If you can afford to roll the transfer this week, then even better. However, looking further afield, in Game Week 27, Brentford, Brighton, Crystal Palace and Southampton have a double game week. So Brentford players could be very handy that week, but it is dependent on how you're set up for Game Week 25 when they also don't play. Gabriel and Kilman make the top projections and both excellent picks due to their double Game Week 25 which follows this week. It's likely you already tripled up on Arsenal though from the double Game Week 23, so we'll move on to midfielders. Man United are home to Leicester on Sunday and it's Bruno and Rashford that lead the midfielder projections with 5.9 and 5.7 points respectively. Haaland's status will be pivotal in how captaincy shapes up next weekend. These two both very good options for captaincy. As a reminder, the Champions League and Europa League is back this week, with Chelsea playing away to Dortmund on Wednesday and Man United away to Barcelona on Thursday, so hold your transfers if you can. Man United are away to Forest. Hard to see anything but a comfortable City win here. And De Bruyne's projected 5 points while Mahrez is projected 4.3. Expected minutes are a big factor this week with the City mids. The algorithm has De Bruyne projected 74 minutes and Mahrez 62. Which isn't unreasonable as Pep might want to manage the team's minutes before the Champions League. Arsenal are away to Aston Villa and former manager Emery, with Saka projected 5 points for that tie, and he registered his 16th attacking return of the season against Brentford. March and Mitoma seem to be taking in turns hauling as of late. After 4 goals in 5 games from Mitoma, he blanked against Palace, and then it was March who put up a 10-pointer last game week. Since Game Week 17, only Rashford has more points than March's 59 with 74. Mahrez is third, just a point behind March with 58. After 5 blanks in a row, Salah was back on the score sheet in the win against Everton and he took all 3 bonus for an 11-pointer. Good to see him back on the score sheet a couple of game weeks before the double in 25 where he could be an option. The other point to note from that fixture was Jota, Firmino and Van Dijk all making the bench, Jota and Firmino both coming on as well. Could be a turning point for Liverpool with important players returning from injuries, and at just the right time before a double game week. Moving on to the forwards, and not for the first time this season, Haaland is top, projected 6.8 points. He was withdrawn early in the win over Aston Villa, and surprisingly didn't take the penalty City won just before coming off, having scored from the spot earlier in the season as well. It was Mahrez that converted the penalty. Post-match, Pep sounded a bit confused by this, as they supposedly agreed Haaland was first choice. Man City have some unbelievable fixtures up next, Forest and Bournemouth, though Pep might want to manage Haaland's minutes through these games, especially if games are wrapped up early, as City head into the Champions League knockout stages next week and up against RB Leipzig on Wednesday. Kane's projected 6 points for the West Ham fixture. The Hammers have kept just one clean sheet in their last 10 games, which came against Lampard's Everton. Could João Felix come into our thinking soon? He returned from suspension on the weekend and he scored Chelsea's only goal in the 1-1 draw, collecting all 3 bonus points as well. As mentioned, Chelsea are one of the few sides we can currently count on to play in Gameweek 28, so he might be an option. Chelsea's next 5 are Southampton, Tottenham, Leeds, Leicester and Everton. A nice run of fixtures, and here's my preference between him and Havertz. No goal from Darwin in the Everton win, but it was a brutal counter-attack led by him, and he assisted Salah to open proceedings. Could he be one to consider in Gameweek 25? It should be pointed out that he was withdrawn at 69 minutes with Jota replacing him, so his minutes could become an issue. Thanks for watching today's video. Lots more FPL content to come this week, so make sure you subscribe. See you soon for the next one.